everyone, this is Valerie and welcome back to Art a la Carte. In this episode, I'm going to talk to you guys about how to take a character that you are designing and give it a little bit more life. And some of you might relate to this. You draw a really cool drawing and it's a really cool character design, but it just looks stiff and lifeless. You see these artists that have amazing character designs and you think to yourself, I could design that, but they have such an awesome pose and position. It looks so original and unique and awesome, and how do you get to that? And for this drawing, I am going to reference back to my previous video where I showed you how to draw a griffin. After I finished that video, I looked at the griffin that I had drawn and I went, he's a little on the stiff side. Nicely proportioned and it was a good video, but I couldn't see him playing a character in a story or a book or a movie or anything like that. It was just a generic griffin. So what if I wanted to take this generic kind of type of griffin and make him look like he's like a character, like he's got a past, he's got a story, he's got a personality? How do you begin to build that into your character? Well, let me just say first that it's going to take you first to get to know what your character looks like. So drawing him or her or it or whatever, drawing it over and over and over and over again until you know exactly the design of the character. You have to have that all out first. And then just grab a sketch piece of paper and begin to draw your character, but super fast and super loose. So you're going to notice in this video, I am drawing my griffin really, really loosely. I've got my shapes in there, but everything is just very stick figurey. Again, similar to how I teach it, but a little bit messier. But this time you're going to notice I'm going to be focusing on a few different elements. One is I'm going to give my character weight. So you'll see that I have a little bit of weight to how the legs are holding, like the body. I'm pushing that, I'm exaggerating that a little bit. The second thing I'm going to be looking for is the positioning itself. A lot of times you'll find that either your character will be straight on looking at you or profile. Try putting it in a 3/4 angle or having it, in one position but have its head looking the other direction. Change it up so that it's a little bit different there. It's not that profile or straight on at you look. Don't just start with just one and go, okay, I'm going to go with this one. Maybe draw a couple until you're comfortable with it. And pretty soon you'll be like, oh, okay, maybe this one, I like this one. After you have that, the third element you're going to want to look for to getting kind of a really cool pose for your character is overlapping. Find things in your character that you can overlap. So as I'm drawing the wings, I'm making the feathers overlap each other. The wing is overlapping elements of my griffin. So the tail is coming in behind, it's going in between the wings and out the other side. The legs are overlapping each other. That's going to give it a more natural feel to it. Things aren't just always right there for you to see. Sometimes a leg is kind of hidden behind another leg. The fourth element you're going to want to look for is just the small little details that you can put in. Now I'm not talking about hyper detail like you're hiding things inside there for people to look at, but you're putting attention to that detail. So when I'm drawing the claws out there, I'm actually making an indentation from the claw separate from the paw. So you can actually see how the claw kind of comes out of the paw. Or like the detail that I have around the eyes with the feathers kind of coaxing around the eyes, or ruffle feathers and things like that. All of those things are going to help add characteristic and personality to your drawing. The last thing you're going to want to look at is the color palette that you use to color your character with. Now for my griffin, I wanted kind of white feathers with a kind of orangey yellowish lion body, but instead of just sticking with just those two colors, yellow and white, I thought, well, let's kind of pull in a little bit more palette. So I first added in just the basic flat coloring, and that is the basic color scheme that I have for things. I put an orangish kind of yellow for the lion part, and then actually for the white I decided not to make it white. I decided to make it kind of a brownish white, and you'll notice that the farther back feathers I made a little bit darker. I'm not going to go into super shading and highlighting. I'm going to add a little bit of that more as the drawing progresses, but I'm going to put a little bit of them in there. So I wanted the back wing to kind of be pushed back a little bit, so I made it a darker shade. And then I began to connect some of the colors together. So you'll notice that the colors of the claws are incorporated into other parts of the bird as well. And so it kind of ties everything together. So if I have a color here, I'm going to try to use it someplace else. Forms kind of a color family for this character. And then in the tail, I added all those kind of little colors all together, kind of just in that tail to kind of, I don't know, I thought it had a little bit of fun interest to that as well. Of course, then you can add in a little bit more shadowing and highlights to actually bring out just a little bit more of the character design in your details. You could continue on with this and refining your character more and more and more, and really get a nice piece. Design that I had for the first griffin, yeah, it was good for teaching, but it, I liked personality. And how I took all those things from that video and then created a totally new design to my griffin that has a little bit of personality. I could see this griffin in a story or in a game of some sort. Hopefully this helped you guys in creating your own design character, how to position your character in a more interesting way and things like that. If you do have your own design character, I know there's a lot of you guys out there that have original characters. I'd love to see it. Make sure to post that on my Facebook page or Instagram, and I will take a peek at those. Or you can email it to me or snail mail it to me. I have all that information in the description box below, so take a peek at that. This pretty much wraps it up for this video. If you're brand new to this channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any future videos. And until next time, God bless you guys, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye!
Pencil and some paper and the best